death of his father, King Rickard the Laughing Wolf, known ironically as such, as after the tragedy of the Black Wedding, no man ever saw Rickard laugh again. Ultimately, the stress of ruling and the stress of life got to him, and he died at the age of only 28, leaving Rickard's uncle, the Dashing Wolf, as the regent of his son, until Theon comes of age. Though before his regency's end, the boy marches north beyond the wall, as his other uncle, Rickon, the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, sent word of a great king beyond the wall, led by the Magna of the Fens. This was Theon's first real taste of combat, fighting alongside his uncle, more of a father figure than anything else to the boy. Unfortunately, Darren the Dashing Wolf died fighting the wildlings, only to be avenged by his nephew Theon, who led his armies back south, only to find that in his absence, the North was in great turmoil. In the years of his regency, the North had suffered many raid by House Hoare, the Ironborn kings. Much of the stony shore has been lost, including Bear Keep. The Woodfoots, who ruled there, have been wiped out, and many sections of the Wolf's Wood have been set aflame. A threat in of itself, only for House Ryder to rebel against the throne, calling themselves the kings of the Barrows and the Rills. All of their bannermen follow them, except for the cadet branch of House Ryder, the Riswell, who, through loyalty or ambition, side with the Starks of Winterfell against their founder house. Theon returns to Winterfell to find his realm in chaos, and he must now march once more to show his lords once and for all what happens when you pull on the direwolf's tail. For those of you wondering what Theon is like, he is an absolute massive badass. The only thing is, he is spindly and short. He gets this from his Reed mother, the Krogman blood in him. However, the Krogman blood has also made him a Greensayer. I'm taking this because, as Brandon Stark in the books describes Theon's statue, he describes him as gaunt. So he's not the big, buffy Chad that we all might think he is in our heads, or history remembers him as. In reality, he was actually quite the short, scrawny bloke. But I'm thinking agile and extremely smart. Deadly with a sword, but not the brute force kind of fighter that you might expect. And somehow wielded the great sword Ice with efficiency. I don't know how, but he did. Our first order of business is crushing the Ryder Rebellion. With the help of the Dustins, we'll march on these assholes and teach them a fine lesson. Lord Ryder is a fool. His line will be extinguished for this. Theon was raised by his uncle, the Dashing Wolf, one of the few survivors of the Black Wedding, and I'm pretty sure that's more or less where he gets his ruthlessness from. He does not forgive his enemies. The Blackwoods taught him that. The Blackwoods taught the Starks that in general. His father, after all, never cracked a smile again. The Laughing Wolf, indeed. The riders will learn the price of defiance. One rider head at a time. Theon gets ill and dies, and then the series is over. Lord Rickard might... Wait, what? Grey Stark? Don't fuck me, Grey Stark. What are you doing? The Ryder Rebellion is brought to an end, ladies and gentlemen, and they will be rounded up and executed. Winter is not kind. Winter does not negotiate. Theon was raised to be a direwolf. Act of tyranny? Fuck you. And with that, the Ryder Rebellion is put to an end, and the house wiped out. Lord Roose Riswell. Or Riswell? Riswell? Yeah. These lads. The cadet branch of House Ryder will be granted the lordship of the Rills as thanks for their loyalty and siding with Winterfell against the Riders. And they officially become Lords of the Rills. And then we march against the Hoars and the Ironborn, ladies and gentlemen, to throw them back into the sea. Also, apparently, the Tullys, for some reason. I don't know why the Tullys are involving themselves in this, but the Tullys are here. That's not canon, but it's a thing that's happening. But yes, King Hoar's son is my rival, the Prince Ravos the Raper, who has been burning and destroying the northern territories for years now. He's been setting alight to the Wolf's Wood and raping and pillaging as he goes. And Theon must put a stop to this. Here, little Kraken. Yeah, there you go. Call the fucker. Victorian Greyjoy, the brute. Or Vicar Greyjoy. Attack first and on guard. Go. Strike. Prior riposte. Quite the wild, sizable gap in Vickon's guard. Gore, bile. I tear through his belly and into his stomach with a powerful cleave of my sword. Gore, bile, and my opponent's last meal flood out, showering my lower half, and he lets out an ear-splitting scream. It is perhaps a kindness that I end Vickon's suffering early. Goodbye, Lord Vickon. I want to duel Ravos. I want to duel the Hoar Prince. Gautron, he's got a Valyrian steel sword. Strike, parry, riposte. Strike, parry, riposte. I whirl my sword a deadly flourish. steel on steel. When the inspiration begins to run dry, I cut my dance short, allowing my foe to collapse to his knees. Blood pours out for him, and so much so that Hilmer can barely muster the energy to look up at me. I do him the courtesy of returning his gaze, then return my sword for the symphony's final note. Goodbye, Lord Hilmer. Theon is just cutting down people one by one. Come back here. Fucking Tullys. Why are the Tullys involved? I want to find out why the Tullys are involved in all of this. Oh, they're allied. The Tullys married one of his daughters to be Queen of the Iron Islands. Okay. That explains why all of the Hoars are redheads. Prince Ravos was maimed, though. Oh, there he is. There he fucking is. Come here, little Hoar. Come here, buddy. My sword arm moves fast as lightning and strikes as hard as sundered stone. Honestly, it's admirable that Ravos was able to withstand as many sword blows as he does, as I rain down on him with all the fury of 1,000 storms. It takes a minute or two, but I eventually beat him into a bloody, twisted, screaming heap. Only when I'm satisfied there will be no last second chance for revenge do I administer the killing blow. Goodbye, Prince Ravos. Here we go, boys. That's what I wanted. That's what I was waiting for. I wanted to kill the prince. That's canon as well. Theon like killed him in single combat, fighting him and kicking him out of the north. Actually, in canon, the prince is like the king of the Iron Islands retreats, but the son stays behind and refuses to leave, and then Theon like hunts him down and kills him. So that's why I wanted to hunt that asshole down. With the Ironborn prince slain in the field of battle and the Hoar king fleeing back to his islands with his fucking tail? Tendrils? Flag? Whatever the hell the Ironborn had between their legs. The very little small pickle thing. Yeah, that thing. He flees with whatever the hell that tiny monstrosity between his legs is. And Theon Stark sweeps through the stony shore, reclaiming it for the north. Theon wants to set a basis of he will be harsh and ruthless to his enemies, but good to his friends. Speaking of his friends, House Mormont will be officially granted Bear Keep. I kind of forgot about them originally, but for the sake of canon and lore-wise speaking, House Mormont is, well, technically House Mormont was given Bear Island after, I think Roderick Stark won it in a wrestling, or an arm wrestling competition against one of the Hoar princes or something ridiculous. But yeah, for now, Mormont can have Bear Island back. Some months later, ladies and gentlemen, after Theon has returned to Winterfell and started to lick his wounds and bask in the glory of a unified North, or unified lands of winter at least, except for the Boltons, Speak of the Devil and Bolton banners appear at Winterfell. It's the Red King's sister, known as the Beautiful for her good looks. She brings a message from her brother. The Andals are invading, and the Red King has no confidence that he can hold them back alone. And if the Red Lands fall, then Winterfell will be next. There are those in Theon's court, of course, who say, let the Boltons die, that it's a trick, that the Boltons are liars and cannot be trusted. But Theon sees an opportunity. Not just to get a pretty wife, or to ally himself with the Boltons and securing what it would be potentially peace in the north. No, he sees bigger than that. He sees the bigger picture, and has plans. So, he agrees to the Boltons' terms, marrying the girl, and rallying the banners of Winterfell, with some grumbling from his lords, but they'll see in time why Theon is doing this. But first, the Andal invaders must be tossed back into the sea. Theon marches over to the Dreadfort to join up with the Red King, who he could crush, to be perfectly honest. The Red King's not that strong compared to Bolton. Compared to Stark, at least. We'll go to the Weeping Water and wait for the Andals to arrive. Oh, the Andals are actually all the way down there. Okay. Come on, Bolton. We're not doing the historic location. We're doing Widow's Watch, apparently. God damn it, Bolton. You're just going to stand there at the Weeping Water? He's like, it happened here. It happened canonically right here. And I'll be damned if it's going to do anything else. Bolton, we're going to run out of supplies if you, like, wait too long, dude. Alright, Bolton can either join me or he can die. Fuck him. I'm going in! Theon is not known for his patience. Is Bolton coming over to help me? Yes, very slowly. They're ages away, though. I don't know if Bolton's going to arrive in time to actually do anything about this. Bolton is miles away and not actually coming to help me. Could you please stop with I'm killing all of you. Fuck this. Seriously, every 2 seconds asking me for a trial by combat, you're now all going to die. Congratulations. Thank you all for reminding me that you exist. Well, I'll take my frustrations out by banging my wife. Where is Bolton going? What the fuck is Bolton doing? The Boltons are a bunch of incompetent retards. Theon's going in again. Bloody Boltons. He's doing this solo, lads. Bolton's here. With 3,000 men, but here. I got injured, I lost wounded. Bolton's troops are slowly arriving. Cut down the Andals. Ooh, Bolton's troops might have just turned the tide. Yes, lads, we got this. Took them long enough, but Jesus Christ, we got this. I mean, old God's Christ, we got this. I'm kind of hoping that I get to duel Argos 7-star, who's leading the current invasion. There you go. Now we got the Andal fuckers on the run. It only took Bolton like 12 attempts, but, you know, this is why you can't rely on a Bolton to be your ally, lads. Aha! There he is! Is that him? No, different Argos. Fuck. I got excited there for a second. Different dude, though. Where's Bolton? Miles away again, Bolton! Theon is a machine. Just carving down the enemy. One dude at a time. They're gonna run out of Andal Knights at this rate. Theon is just carving them down like daisies in a field. Bolton is always late to battle. The late Lord Bolton. 7 stars refuses to fight me. Because he's scared. King Argus! Yes, 7 stars. It's you, my man. Yes, let's do... He's got it. He's got his little bitch boy. And now we will beat the shit out of 7 stars. It's just you and me, Argus. This is like an Oberyn versus Clegane kind of moment. I leap into the action, landing a flurry of quick slashes, driving myself hard against his guard. Counters with a fierce quail of strikes, almost running me through. Attack first. On guard. Well, that was fucking easy. Theon is a badass. I wait patiently for the perfect moment. When none does, I try to positively tepid slash. That's anticlimactic, but victory is yours. King Argos is at your mercy, helpless and defenseless for the time being. All that remains, ladies and gentlemen, now that the Andal warlord has been slain, is to sail across the narrow sea and teach these bastards a lesson that they will not soon. Theon straps 7 stars corpse to the bow of his ship, sails across the narrow sea, and marches straight for Andalos, burning seps and sending a permanent message. This is the North. You are not welcome here. Return at your peril. The Andals sign a white peace as Theon Stark leaves, and never again will an Andal warlord try to invade the North. All that remains is the existence of House Bolton, who were throughout the war completely fucking useless and need to be taught a goddamn lesson. Though for now, Theon returns to Winterfell to lick his wounds and retrain his men. His wife is pregnant once again, and they have a son already, who we will name, because this will be important later, John. Yes, John. His name will be John, Prince John. But no, Brandon, that's right. I get my history mixed up. I'm the one supposed to know everything. That's Brandon, there we go. He'll be important later, ladies and gentlemen, because he has a war to fight. Hell, I'll give him his title, even though he hasn't earned it yet. I'll give him his Brandon Ice Eyes, who will in the future, ladies and gentlemen, go on to take the Sistertons and fight the war across the water. Although Theon will take a crack at that as well later. For now, we wait for my forces to replenish, and then we go teach Bolton a lesson. Actually, the Ice Eyes thing kind of works more than I originally thought. I mean, I planned this all the entire time. The Boltons are known to have really pale, like, ice-chipped eyes. So, Brandon Ice Eyes is called Ice Eyes because he has Bolton eyes. That's why. You know, that fits. That fits, like, perfectly, actually. Brandon Ice Eyes had a Bolton mother, and he has Bolton eyes. Hence the ice-chipped pale eyes. That's why he's called Ice Eyes. Under the pretense of unifying the North to beat back any future Andal invasions for the security of the North and its people, Theon Stark turns his blade on the Boltons when he returns home from the war in Andalos, demanding that the Red King bend the knee, and declaring himself as the first ever king in the North. Honor is not a Stark trait, ladies and gentlemen. Honor is for peace and for your friends. In war, you kill your enemies. That is as it has always been, as it should be. Catch half of the Bolton forces, they retreat. The Red Kings will be brought to heel, once and for all. Did I just wipe out their entire army? Yes. Yeah, the slaughter, yeah. Their entire fucking army was destroyed. Theon just wiped out the entire force of House Bolton. Alright, well, time to lay siege to the Dreadfort. Well, the Dreadfort's going to be under siege for about a year before Bolton surrenders. Interestingly, it should be said, half of Bolton's bannermen didn't even join him. Like, Locke, Wolffield, Hornwood, they all, like, said, nope, not getting involved. So, yeah, that's funny. But yes, the Boltons bend the knee, ladies and gentlemen, and the North is united under the rule of House Stark. Finally, the Kingdom of the North is created. But we are not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Theon Stark will still go on to cause more mischief for everybody. He's full of mischief. He gets up to a lot of mischief, because one of the final things that Theon is known for is the invasion of the Three Sisters. He brings the Three Sisters into the fold, which begins a generational war across the water. His son will fight for these islands, and his son's son, and his son's son after him, and his son's son's son, and so on, until eventually the Starks get bored of fighting over the shitty little islands, and they just give up, eventually. But we will, at the very least, play out the invasion of the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters will be brought into the Kingdom of the North once and for all, securing the gullet and the waters around White Harbor, or the Wharf's Den, as it is. This will be the easiest conquest that Theon has ever had, basically. But it will be hell for his descendants, as the islands consistently rebel 24/7, refuse to do as they're told, and then the Arryns get involved, and it's just a century of war and conflict. So, yeah, that's the thing that happens. But Theon, at least, will have no trouble, because the Three Sisters are currently independent of the Vale. So, there is nothing to save them from Theon's wrath. That's it, lads. I mean, they can't put up a fight. The Three Sisters are useless. The only reason that they ever become an issue later on is just purely because the Arryns get involved. But that's a problem for Brandon Ice Eyes, not for Theon. Theon will probably be dead by then. Well, he will be dead by then. I imagine that Theon will suffer rebellions from the Three Sisters and just constantly, like, having up, like, public order issues and everything. But ultimately, it is now part of the North, lads, until the Arryns have something to say about it, at least. Theon would go down in history as the greatest Stark to ever live, the embodiment of what every king after him would strive to achieve. His reign afterwards would be fairly peaceful, other than some minor little rebellions and uprisings. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, had the common sense to not fuck with the Hungry Wolf. Hell, one conflict that we haven't shown here is the fact that during the end of his reign, Theon Stark actually invaded the Vale, and seemingly, I'm guessing, got thrown back. That's probably one of the only defeats in his career, more or less, is the fact that he landed an army at the Fingers, and assumingly the Arryns were pissed, and then threw him back into the ocean, and he retreated. So that's probably the only defeat that he was ever delivered. That concludes the tale of Theon Stark, the Hungry Wolf. The first king in the North. People ping me on Discord the second I start talking. Okay, look, we'll wrap this up. I thank you for watching. That's Theon's story over. Next time, we'll either do the War Across the Water, which is in the reign of Brandon Ice Eyes, or I'll do Arryn's invasion of the Vale against the Griffin King, and then the unification of the Vale, and then we'll do the War Across the Water, and go from there. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Click on the buttons, like, subscribe, you know the deal. People say it all the time, it's in every video. That is all for now. Soul out.
This war is far from over.